He was just trying to close the ball down.
Spence. By Anderson and Kane. It was travelling from Declan Rice, but all-time number of caps for...
England came into this game as heavy favourites. They had just beaten Croatia 4-2. 4 goals, Jude Bellingham scoring, Harry Kane with a brace, the whole world buzzing about them. And now, Ghana, ranked 65th in the world, a team most people couldn't name 5 players from. England were expected to walk straight through them. They did not score a single goal. England versus Ghana, FIFA World Cup 2026, Boston Stadium, Massachusetts, June 23rd. And what unfolded on that field was one of the most suffocating, jaw-dropping defensive performances you will see at any World Cup, from a team that had absolutely no business holding England scoreless for 90-plus minutes. Let's break this down completely. England kicked off this match knowing that a win would essentially seal their place in the round of 32. 3 points already in the bag from the Croatia game. Ghana had 3 points too. They edged Panama 1-0 with a 95th minute goal from Caleb Yarenki. So both teams walked into Boston Stadium level on points, but the expectations? Completely different. England were the minus 465 favorites. Ghana were expected to park the bus, survive, and go home with nothing. And here is where Carlos Queiroz, Ghana's manager, did something genuinely brilliant. This man coached Iran, he coached Portugal, he has seen every trick in the book, and he looked at England's squad, looked at their set-piece record, looked at how they dismantled Croatia, and he made a decision. Ghana would not try to play football. Ghana would try to make England lose their mind. The shape Queiroz set up, a disciplined, compact 4-4-2 defensive block, sitting in 2 tight lines of 4, refusing to give England any space behind the defense, was executed with military precision. Every time England tried to play through the middle, Ghana's midfield closed the lanes. Every time England tried to switch the ball wide, Ghana's fullbacks tracked back immediately. And every time England crossed into the box, which they did 19 times in terms of total shot attempts, Ghana's center backs were first to every header. Now let's talk about England's attacking players, because on paper this lineup should have been more than enough to destroy a team ranked 65th in the world. Harry Kane, the Bayern Munich striker, England's captain and all-time top scorer. A man who entered this match needing just 1 goal to overtake Gary Lineker as England's all-time leading World Cup scorer. He had 10 shots on target against Croatia 6 days earlier. Tonight, Ghana's defenders did not give him a moment's peace. Every time Kane dropped deep to receive the ball, Thomas Partey, the Arsenal midfielder, was right on him, intercepting, blocking, physically out-muscling him before he could turn and run. Kane had chances, yes, but he could not find the finish. Jude Bellingham, the Real Madrid superstar, who has been one of the best players in Europe for 2 consecutive seasons. Ghana's midfield made him essentially invisible for large stretches of this game. He had 1 shot blocked on the half hour. That was it. The player who scored against Croatia, the player who is supposed to be England's heartbeat, was neutralized completely. And then there is the moment that will haunt England fans for a very long time. 87th minute, Reece James delivers a cross into the box. Nico O'Reilly, the substitute, gets his head to it and rattles the crossbar. The ball comes back down, it drops perfectly. Harry Kane is 6 yards out, goal gaping, goalkeeper out of position. Every single person in that stadium knew this was going in. And Kane, England's greatest ever striker, blazed it over the bar. Over the bar from 6 yards. That moment tells you everything you need to know about how this game went. Benjamin Asare, Ghana's goalkeeper, was barely tested for the first 56 minutes of this match. The first shot on target in the entire game did not come until the 57th minute from Noni Madueke. England had 79% possession, 79%, and Ghana had the ball for roughly 8% of the game. But possession means nothing if you cannot score. Here is a stat that puts this in brutal perspective. England fired 19 shots at Ghana's goal. 19. Ghana had 2 total shots in the entire match. 2. And yet the scoreline reads 0-0. England's 19 shots produced 0 goals. Ghana's 2 shots produced 0 goals. But Ghana needed 0 goals to get what they came for. This is the tactical masterclass that people are completely missing in this result. Ghana did not just sit deep and hope for the best. They pressed with an organized aggression when England tried to build from the back. Jordan Ayew, the striker, made the most high-intensity pressures of any forward at the 2026 World Cup so far. He was running constantly, harassing England's center-backs, forcing them into longer passes, disrupting the rhythm before England could even think about creating something dangerous. And when Ghana did counter, and they did counter, twice dangerously, England's defense was nearly caught cold. In the second half, substitute Prince Ayew was played in behind by a perfectly timed pass, and only a last-ditch sliding intervention from Ezri Konsa stopped what looked like a certain chance on goal. The Ghana players were furious, convinced Konsa had fouled Ayew. VAR checked it, waved away. But for a moment, for one terrifying moment, Ghana were on the verge of stealing all 3 points. Think about that. Ghana, with 2 shots total, came closer to winning this game than the scoreline suggests. Thomas Tuchel made his changes. Morgan Rogers and Eberechi Eze came on for their World Cup debuts. Bukayo Saka was introduced, but nothing worked. Saka had a curling shot brilliantly saved by Asare deep in added time. England even had a header from Guehi in stoppage time that was cleared off the line. They threw everything at it. Ghana held firm. Now let's put this into the bigger picture, because this is not just a one-game story. This is a pattern. This is England's difficult second game. In 2021 at the Euros, they drew with Scotland. In 2022 at the World Cup, they drew with the USA. In 2024 at the Euros, they drew with Denmark. And now, in 2026, they draw with Ghana. 4 consecutive tournaments, 4 second-game draws. For a squad packed with Premier League champions, Champions League winners, and multi-hundred-million-pound footballers, this is becoming a genuinely alarming trend. England now have 4 points from 2 games. They are top of Group L, level on points with Ghana. They face Panama in their final group game on Saturday. Ghana still need to play Croatia. On paper, England should qualify comfortably, but this draw is a warning. It is a massive, flashing, neon warning. Because if England play like this in the knockout rounds, 19 shots and 0 goals, no cutting edge, no plan B that actually works, they will be going home. Ghana, on the other hand, should be celebrating. They came into this tournament as massive underdogs. They are through to the knockout stages in all but name. A team of footballers playing their tournament football in leagues across Europe. Partey at Arsenal, Semenyo at Bournemouth, Ayew still grinding, came to Boston and shut down one of the most heavily favored international teams in this entire World Cup. 0 goals conceded, 1 point taken. A result that nobody predicted. Carlos Queiroz had the last word. He always does. The final whistle went at Boston Stadium, and the Ghana players celebrated like they had just won the tournament. And in a way, for them, they had. Against England, ranked inside the top 5 in the world, with 19 shots raining down on their goal, Ghana kept a clean sheet. They stood firm. They refused to break. That is not just a good result. That is one of the great defensive performances of this World Cup. England loon, Ghana loon. And the story of this match is not what England failed to do. The story is what Ghana pulled off. Outmanned, outgunned, expected to lose by multiple goals, and they walked out of Boston Stadium with their heads held high and a point that might just take them to the round of 32. Football does not care about rankings. Football does not care about star players or transfer fees or possession percentages. Sometimes, the team with a game plan wins. And tonight, Ghana had the game plan. England did not.